I can't say I'm a longtime fan, but what I can
Okay,
say is I'm like a 6-year fan.
that's very respectable.
I feel like, but you have so much that you did before that, and obviously so much that you've done since then. And it's amazing to me, first off, E Mozzie.
Oh,
This might be one of the best E Mozzie verses I've heard.
where that nigga Imazzi at? Michael, tell that nigga Imazzi, nigga, this the best Imazzi verse he's ever heard, nigga.
It is.
Oh, I love you for that, boy. You a real one off the dribble. Straight up.
Like E Mozzie, I had the privilege of being on a video shoot with everybody at one point, but that makes me look at everything you're building, everything that he's actually focused on and working on, but also you as a leader in a different kind of way.
Hell yeah, for
How does
sure.
it feel to see E Mozzie be where he is now, but also for you be where you are now?
You know, it's a blessing, man. We really, it's, you know what I'm saying? We finally made it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It come from that, you know what I'm saying? Sleepwalking versus, you know, we put that work in, that labor in. So just to be where we at is alone. It gotta be a guy. It gotta be a guy. I gotta be highly favored. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no other sense, man. Just coming from where we come from, enduring what we went through, and to be at the just the place that we at right now, the space, man, and it's crazy, man. Beyond blessed, straight up.
This album to me has certain things that are very consistent throughout the process, and also a lot of storytelling that I think is, for my opinion, not common enough. You start off unethical and you end with the home team. And start with talking about ills of the world. And
Straight
you
up.
end with like things that we deal with every day. Did you have a structure? Did you have a concept? Did you have something that you were trying to put together when you're putting this together?
Sometimes I get to tweaking, thinking about my people dangling from a tree. We celebrate when niggas make it out the streets, but how you let your mama starve, won't even take out
Out to eat.
and that ain't G. You feel me? Nah, it's I ain't gonna lie. When I first started cooking up the album, I really didn't know where I was going with it. I just knew I wanted something beautiful, something thoughtful, something with a lot of jewels. Off the dribble, I was dedicating it to my grandmother. She just recently passed. That's my big dog, the biggest dog in our family, man. And so, you know, I wanted to dedicate it to her, but I had to, you know, her main thing about my music was substance. You know what I'm saying? Find out ways to slip in vegetables within the soup. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's exactly what I was targeting, and that's exactly what I hit. I feel like I hit it on the mark, and you know, so I'm really excited about that. But once I found out the direction where I was going with it, beyond bulletproof, I mean, the love went unconditionally. And you know, just that this is for the forgotten. This is for the ones that we overlook. This is for the people who get a lack of love. You know what I'm saying? Due to circumstances or, you know, whatever the case may be. And so I was targeting that audience, the ones that's behind the walls that we tend to forget about, out of sight, out of mind. So, you know, I said I'm gonna do this one for my people, man, straight up. And I feel like I touched on a lot of dope subjects that pertain to them and the society we live in.
These people use your love against you. They abuse your love.
Oh.
You've been abused by all these men in pursuit of love. We suit up, never mind the peons who don't do enough. Compassion for the hopeless and homeless because they've been through enough. Is it ironic that we're in a position where we have to look at our own selves as individuals on our own with quarantine? I call it refresh, but this situation we're in with coronavirus, that weight is more valued than trending topics. I don't think this is an accident for you, because this is what I mean. I've been, like I said, a 6-year fan. You've always had weighty bars. That's what your thing is. That's what your life has been. That's what you've shared with people. That's what your choices have been. but now everybody has to be home. And all of us, I think, have gone through a different wave of thinking on one way or another. Me personally, I think that this is why what you're talking about on this project is so important. Is this, for you, the wave crescendo or happening on its own? Or did you really think about a different type of approach? And it's just happenstance that this album hits like 9/11 blueprint. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a catastrophe and everybody needs something.
Nah, you're right. Nah, I didn't know. I couldn't prepare for everything that's going on. I couldn't prepare for it, but I seen that off the dribble that it was in sync with what was going on. You know, this album is about spreading love. It's about compassion for the hopeless and homeless because they've been through enough. It's about, you know, just your people, man. Providing. I was taught provide for your people. You know what I'm saying? How I'm supposed to tell my youngin' go to school when they just caught him at the light rail and stripped him for his jewels? And how I'm supposed to tell my auntie not to use when she ain't got no other means or methods to numb abuse? I know your pain, baby. You feel me? I'm sympathizing with what they going through. And I've been through it. I identify with these struggles. And so, you know, I wanted to, when I start going in that direction and everything that occurred as far as the pandemic, the epidemic, I just feel like it was just all, right now it's about unconditional love. It's about grabbing your loved ones, man, and hugging them. It's about, you know, making sure Granny and them is platinum, the elders in the family. You feel me? It's about not bringing that disease in and, you know, quarantine and following the rules and regulation. You know what I'm saying? And so it's close-knit. Kids ain't going to school. They at the house. Everything is close-knit. It's all the materialistic things don't matter. It's about essentials. And you know, it just, so I just felt like this album was right on time. We was gonna try to push it back for a minute, you know what I'm saying, me, and see if, you know, I did want to tour. I wanted to tour this album. I wanted to do a proper radio run. I wanted to pull up and come touch you, come holler at you. You feel me? So, you know, that kind of threw us off. But outside of that, man, I'm embracing what's going on. I wanted to send my condolences to the families, you know what I'm saying, me, that have been affected by this. And but yeah, I just feel like everything just merged in as one.
You know, my favorite track is Body Count. And
crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's
how you gonna pick a track? How you off my album, you gonna pick a track where I get cooked on? Where a nigga sizzle me.
Ooh,
Man, you want to pick a track where you want to highlight me getting cooked on my own album.
I'm going to be honest. I am the media, but this is entertainment media, so I'm fine with being biased. G Herbo, not in the conversation. All respect due. I understand. I feel it. So now, since you brought it up, is King Von and you. And it's energy versus wisdom. And everything you said in that verse is wisdom, dog. And that's what I think Mozzy fans love about this project and your last project, is that you're connecting activity to inspiration, to life, to experience, right? And this album right here, you are talking about things that are family related in a way that directly connect to, in a different way, to activities you have to do to take care of your family.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
think Von is there yet, but I think he's the one that I imagine you talking about getting cooked on.
He
ain't there yet. He's a new Mozzy.
Okay, my thug. Thug love. Yeah, I just when they sent the verses back, man, I had to put some respect on it. Like, you know, I told myself next time I get in the lab with him, I'ma sizzle his ass up. Straight up. I'ma get him for that. You hear me? My management team, they're like, you sure you don't want to change the verse? I'm like, I'ma let him get it. It's respectable. I'ma keep that. Yeah, I'ma take that on the chin. But I appreciate your input. G-O-D.
No, man, look. There was a relentlessness that we heard on different projects that is just immediate. You know what I mean? Like, this was happening now, we got to fix this. That's not what this project sounds like to me. I mean, you're talking about betrayal. you're talking about what happens when people snitch or when people go outside and talk too much, and you don't make yourself a victim. That to me feels like leadership. I mentioned Imazi earlier. You mentioned a bunch of times that you're worth 1,000 pair of kicks in cash. You're finally having to deal with me paraphrasing, more money, more problems. But they don't sound like problems. And you never separate yourself. How are you able to still be honest while still having more people that are beholden to you and more people that you're responsible for?
I think in all actuality, I got here off of honesty. I think the level that I got to is off pure honesty, man. Whether it's I'm at fault. In the album, I said, I should have been at D-Ray service. He's reputable. Any excuse that I could think of, unacceptable. That's somebody I love dearly, a young life I helped raise within the community, somebody who looked up to me, big breath, function with him heavy. And I didn't show up to his funeral service. I knew I was supposed to, but I didn't show up. And for whatever reason I had, whatever may be the reason, I'm at fault for that. And, you know, I take that on the chin. I'm at fault for failing my daughters when she was in CPS. I take that on the chin. I'm at fault for, you know, putting my grandmother through all the gangster things she went through and having the police kick in her door. I take that on the chin. I don't run from it. And I think that's one of my biggest qualities, man, is not running from it and taking it on head on. And, you know, people resonate with that. They catch a vibe from that. So it's like, it's not judgmental because I'm displaying my faults. I ain't running from them. I'm not hiding them. They not in the closet. And I think a lot of people, you know, especially those around me, they pick up on that and they can sense that and just the real, just human being, you know what I'm saying, me that display, you know, it's what they say, man sharpen man, iron sharpen iron.
Steel sharpen steel.
Steel sharpen steel. Straight up.
You make a reference to something I think most people can relate to. I mean, for example, I'll be honest with you because I respect you. I've had a chance to actually be around you and see how you show love to everybody else. But also because of the fact that you're so vulnerable in your music, it makes people be more comfortable being vulnerable about themselves. And there's certain things, for example, that I don't show on the gram, right? There's certain drinks I'm drinking. There's certain smokes I'm smoking. I ain't talking about, right? Yeah. And you actually, like the last project you put out, and I think probably a piece of the one before was you talking about some of your addictions, right?
Sure.
And this one, you talk about your progress in a way that's also kind of hiding it. Like you're like, I don't put it on the gram though. It's my addiction. Who are you to judge? Like, how do you take that part, right? Because most people's addictions keep them from being amazing, right? They keep them from having success. But you've been able to continue to stack success while now at least admitting that you're not done with it, or you haven't fixed it, or you haven't overcome it. Like, how are you able to manage your addictions and your vices with your responsibilities?
Prioritizing. I mean, I come from a family that's full of addictions. And I watch moms, I watch grams. I couldn't believe my grandmother used to smoke weed in the bathroom. That was just so crazy to me. You know, she never smoked. I've never seen her smoke weed in front of me. But I go in the bathroom and it be lit. You feel me? And I find little joints and, you know what I'm saying? But moms, I watch my mom, even though, you know, I said she was addicted to drugs, she kept a job no matter what she was on. She kept a job. And so, you know, I just seen it. I seen it all my life, and I feel like it's the same thing. It's prioritizing. If I got to go to court behind my daughters, if I'm going to family court and the rules and regulations is don't smoke weed, you can't smoke weed, you're going to be P-tested, then I'm going to follow all rules and regulations. And it's the same thing with anything else. If probation, if I'm on probation and I got to do this and that, I'm going to follow all rules and regulations. But when there's no rules and regulations set for you, you have to do it for self. And, you know, that's them the problems that I deal with. That's what I fight. And but I feel like it doesn't. I make sure I do it in moderation. I don't do it too much where it'll thunder me, where I can't program or I can't pay rent, or I'm not progressing. No matter what I'm doing, as a father, as a family man, as an artist, I always seek out progression. I always try to get better. So but now I just, and like in a song, it I don't display it. I'm not displaying it for your kids. I'm not making it. I'm not blowing it out of proportion and promoting it to your young life. I wouldn't promote it to mine. And but these are the things that I fight with, and I'm honest about what I go through. And like I said, it's been one of the biggest factors in my music, man. And a lot of people value that, and a lot of people go through the same thing. It's a lot of people that's entertainers that act like they kicked the cut when it was cool to kick the cut, and then they picked him right back up. It's a beautiful struggle, and it's a struggle that one must endure. And I'm a see it. I'm gonna see it through for sure. It's not nothing I can't beat. I felt like I beat it temporarily, and I fell out of line. Granny passed. It got spunky for me, but I'm always honest about it, and I feel like that's the way that you overcome something.
Yeah, I mean, and I just feel like there's a pressure for everybody to feel like they have to be whoever Will Smith is on TV or whoever Black Panther is on TV. And I don't, in my personal life, feel like I've ever met a Will Smith or a Black Panther.
Ever.
So it's like, how do we make our communities bigger? Like, I'm gonna say something, and I would just like you to react to it. I'm basically like, fuck culture. Okay, we be talking about, oh, we the culture, we the culture. The biggest challenge I have, and this just me to you as someone I respect as a leader in thought, right? I feel like all the things that we loved about how we got here, including hip hop, including whatever, including everything you're talking about in the track one, right? That was more community based. Like everything we talk about culture, but I don't see help. And I hear help on this album, but I don't see help. You're an outlier. Is there a difference in your opinion between culture and community? Maybe it's a new thought. It doesn't have to be.
Culture and community. Community is more close knit. That's what I think of community. Community close knit culture worldwide is so rotten. But I feel like you said, it's a lack of help. It's a lack of help. And you'll see more designer. You'll see people invest more money into designer than they would into their people. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a lot of people blow more money on jewelry than they would their own people. And I'm speaking of us as my culture. I'm watching my culture. I'm watching rappers, entertainers. They run through the bag. And you know what I'm saying? Me in that same photo, they got their mans in there sitting next to him, and he looking like a peasant. He look like he hurt. He's starving, whatever the case may be. But you see him on the internet. They give all the money to, these other cultures. You know what I'm saying? Me and before they give it to their own. I'm guilty of it. I buy some European outfits before I buy somebody within the community that's selling African American outfits. And like I said, I'm guilty of it. And I spend my money with a jeweler before I would an African American. I just feel like he might fadangle me. He might whoop me. You feel me? And this is crazy. This is how we think of our own people. Naturally. This is a natural, this is unconsciously. And so I feel like it's a big gap. It's a big gap. And I feel if we took notes from other cultures and we applied them, that we'll be better off, like much better off.